And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gentlemen of Crypto, episode 349. Today is Friday, February 22nd. I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay. And we are here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
10-ish. Right on time. Right on time.
Right on time.
Today, we have a few stories we'll be covering. We'll start off talking about the FBI and how they're soliciting information from Bitconnect investors. We'll jump back over to talk more Quadriga CX that has still been the top news and some of that crypto money that's been missing. Then go over to the UK where an auction house plans to sell off $430,000 in crypto. Brazilian bank aims to raise $15 million through an STO. That is right. Banks are officially going into crypto. We'll wrap up talking about University of Michigan and their endowment that they up to a crypto fund, as well as Malta and how they plan to store education certificates on the blockchain. Oh, yeah. But first, did we have a cryptic coin winner from yesterday?
Oh yeah, no winner from yesterday, unfortunately. No comments based on our question from yesterday, but we will have a question of the day today. So
there we go. All right. Good morning, Antonio from the UK. Kevin Hodges. Speaking of the UK, we'll be talking about you all today, Antonio.
Oh yeah.
Top story though, as we said, FBI solicits information from Bitconnect investors with voluntary questionnaire. Interesting.
Voluntary.
I like how they're looking at it too. This is how the government looks at Bitcoin. You're like, oh, what's going on with this? The United States Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, is seeking to contact investors in the alleged Ponzi scheme Bitconnect that collapsed in January of last year. A news statement confirmed a couple of days ago, February 20th. As part of an ongoing investigations into the activities of a well-known but shadowy scheme, the Cleveland branch of the U.S. law enforcement agency appealed to ex-investors to give information about their interaction with Bitconnect. Wow. I mean, what is the FBI hoping to gain here?
I'm pretty sure, based on their statement, they basically said Bitconnect guaranteed investors up to a 10% total return per month on their investment, following a tiered investment system, based on the sum of the investor's initial deposit. So I believe that they're seeking to have people submit how much they had in the in Bitconnect so that they can actually return funds if they actually catch everybody who did it. The Bitconnect case is a single effort in October 2018 for an amended consolidated class action complaint that was initiated with the U.S. District Court in Florida. So there's different states like Texas and North Carolina that have issued cease and desist. They're basically trying to make sure everybody gets their money back, and it'll be pretty hard because the price plunged from over $400 to lower than $20, which is still. Let me see how much the
People
are
still staking. Yeah, people still staking.
Oh man, so it's crazy that it still has a market cap. Not sure how much it is, but looks like the FBI is basically trying to help people get their money back, as well as wrap their head around the level of this Ponzi scheme, because it's stretched internationally. You gotta understand, people are everywhere.
I mean, I was gonna hit on that in a moment when it comes to Cleveland. But first, here it says a dedicated questionnaire is already available online. Special Agent Vicky D. Anderson explaining that responses would assist investigators in identifying those affected by monetary loss. Quote, the FBI is seeking potential victims who invested in the cryptocurrency Bitconnect coin, which was first released through an ICO orchestrated by Bitconnect in November 2016. I threw some acronyms in there myself. She actually said all the full words. She also explained in a statement, adding, your responses are voluntary and would be useful in the federal assessment of this matter and to identify you as a Bitconnect investor and or potential victim.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, again, if you lost that much money, I get why people will flock to this. But if you didn't lose that much, I almost count it as a loss, because if you really think the FBI is going to get your information about you being a Bitconnect investor and not dig deeper, you are crazy.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be like, oh, well, how many times did you trade this coin? How much taxes did you pay on it? What other coins do you trade? There's going to be a plethora of questions to go along with it. I mean, that's just
take the loss, people.
I mean, that's data. That's whenever, at this point, and not even saying this is some government conspiracy. At this point, private companies, government, anybody, if you have data, they're going to mine that data. That is valuable, okay? So that just makes sense. And for the U.S., if they can tie that into taxes, of course. But even further is that the Cleveland office is handling this. People, this is literally an attempt for Cleveland FBI investigators to get promoted. All right? Like, this is all it is. If it was that important, Again, as you mentioned, this scaled to international levels. I mean, there were people in Australia that were getting arrested or getting kidnapped over this thing. It's people, kids, families in South Africa missing over this stuff, right? So it's one of those things where you think an international Ponzi scheme such as this is going to be led by the FBI Cleveland office. No offense, FBI Cleveland office. I don't want no problems have ever come through there, but we all know that's not the truth. I mean, if it was that big of a deal, the New York office, LA offices, it would be a much bigger cities tackling this thing, or at least bigger cities in the financial sense. But for Cleveland to take this, to take the tip of the spear on this one,
somebody's trying to get promoted.
Somebody trying to get promoted, and I don't see it going that far. And again, nothing to their investigators. I'm sure they're having an awesome job, but just look at the budget. Yeah. They don't have the budget to handle something of this magnitude. Yeah. Let's say, again, I haven't looked into this. They might just be saying for Cleveland residents, you all can reach out. But if this is for, like, let's say all the United States can reach out and fill this out, you really think the Cleveland FBI office has enough resources to handle,
millions,
50,000, right? Let's say 50,000
complaints,
responses come in. Like, they don't have the manpower, and they won't get the funding to either. So unless they can show how much money the government can make from it, then at that point, again, that's where they're taking that information and showing the IRS and saying, hey, it's worth us to investigate this because we can also identify traders, how much they've traded, how much they put into this, and how much they may owe you. But I mean, if the government doesn't see what do you think they're doing it so you all can get your money back? Like, come on, that's not happening. So that's my thoughts on it.
Oh yeah, and it is always good to have a good, nice Trayvon James Bitcoin trade quote at any point in this investigation of Bitconnect. And he said in response to the March 2018 investigation, he said, "I'm glad that I don't know anything, so that means there's no proof that I knew anything."
Right.
What? I don't know what that means, but basically that is Trayvon James for you, commenting on Bitconnect. And that's pretty much everybody at Bitconnect who did the promotion out that condo in Miami. They basically was like, I don't know anything, I just was promoting it, which is hilarious. So nobody should listen to influencers trying to get you on coins anymore. So
if anybody follows Trayvon, reach out to him, tell him we've been trying to get an interview on him for this. I actually saw him live the other day on YouTube and tried to click on there. I'm not sure if he didn't see us or if he's ignoring us. He might not saw us, but definitely want to get him on an interview to talk about this Bitconnect and his thoughts on it.
Oh yeah,
but that's pretty interesting. Oh, give some shout outs. What is going on? Dylan Darchinville in the building. Kevin Hodges, BK in the building. My bad, Dylan. Clarence Dennison. It's SJ Smith, Madam Crypto, Shannon Allen,
Bitconnect,
Erica Beach, Donald Muhammad, Crypto Don Juan. I like that name. Paula Craig. Jason M. Oh, listen, hilarious Jason M. I just saw the story all of 10 minutes ago.
Just saw it, yeah.
But Jason M. said the Patriots owner should have used Bitcoin to pay for those, what can I say?
Ladies of the night.
There we go, the ladies of the night. What money, question mark.
Oh, yeah.
Leroy Forbes, what's going on? Jizzy Matt. Listen, I won't go off on this, but all I'm saying is go figure. A billionaire wants to spend his money and not, on a relationship real quick. Big deal, people. What are we talking about? That's
Stop using checks at the Snooty Fox.
That's a headline. I can't believe that's still a headline. Like,
yeah, who knows? We got to look more into that one. Though.
Let's not talk about like kids making iPhones and Jordans. Let's talk about a billionaire saying, "Hey, I have enough money to throw around, and I don't want to spend my time." But whatever, it's crazy. Quadriga CX transfers remaining crypto to, you guessed it, Big Four auditor Ernst & Young. All I'm saying is I remember a duo from the Gentlemen of Crypto all of a week and a half, 2 weeks ago saying that Ernst & Young was going to end up with all of the Quadriga CX money. Did we not say that on at least 2 or 3 different shows?
Oh, yeah.
We kept saying it.
Just them being involved, I was like, you know what's going on here.
We said it so many times. I remember specifically one of the quotes we said was that the amount of money left wouldn't even cover Ernst & Young fees. They're going to be taking everything. That was like one of our main motivations behind it. But it looks like Canada's now offline Quadriga CX cryptocurrency exchange has sent its remaining crypto assets from its hot wallets to Big Four auditing firm Ernst & Young, according to an official report by EY published on February 20th, so a couple of days ago. According to Ernst & Young's second report of the Monitor, Quadriga CX transferred almost all of its online crypto to that auditor about a week and a half ago, following some initial testing arrangements. Transferred amount included 51 Bitcoin, 952 Ethereum, 822 Litecoin, 33 Bitcoin Cash, and 2,033 Bitcoin Gold.
Wow.
A sum worth roughly 410,000 at press time. So many questions. First of all, how do you have 33 Bitcoin Cash and 2,033 Bitcoin Gold? I'm going to need to see some receipts. And secondly, why are you transferring? Whenever they talk about these companies transferring, put it all in one crypto, people.
Yeah.
Like, why do you keep switching it up? Like, this does. I don't believe this already.
Yeah.
So you're gonna do 51 Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash. Why didn't you just put it all in Bitcoin and transfer it all over so we can have one little steady thing and see it all on one blockchain? Oh, maybe because it's too transparent, perhaps. I don't know. But what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, this is weird too.
Ernest Young came through strong arm,
didn't they? Because we already said the get down and lay down operation was there. Because when a law firm shows up and they want to help, or they have to audit. They basically are trying to get as much money for themselves as possible. And I can guarantee you that just the court fees alone, this is going to be their crypto. But the best part about the transfer is at least they didn't lose 100,000 like they did before, or 500,000 in Canadian dollars like February 6th. They tried to transfer 104 Bitcoin, and they're inaccessible because Gerald Cotton, the guy who owned it, died. So that is good for them. They actually did test sends this time. They tested 0.01 Ethereum. Then they sent, 960. Right. Same thing with Bitcoin. Sent 0.01 and then sent 52 Bitcoins after that. Because
rookie moves.
Because I was going to say, everybody knows that you do a test transfer when you're about to transfer hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of crypto. So at least they got that right. But this smells of Ernst & Young taking over, and somebody was going to get that money. There's no way 190 million is just going to sit on the sideline.
And not only that, like as you mentioned too, literally as you can see here on this chart, where it charts the events starting from November 9th, 2018 till today, as far as what's been going on in this case. On February 12th, again, we've been following this for a few weeks now. February 12th, that report by Ernst & Young came out that claimed Quadriga accidentally transferred nearly $470,000 in Bitcoin to his cold wallets on February 6th, basically saying they're unable to access that. Ernst & Young already was in the building at this time, right? Yep. So you're telling me 470,000 magically disappeared to some wallets that somebody, as you said, accidentally did because for whatever reason, on your first transfer, you decided to do $470,000 transfer instead of testing it. But here's another reason why I don't believe it now. It's because on this second transfer you did with all the remaining crypto assets, or at least they're writing to everybody saying that they transferred to Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash. So this first accidental transfer happened. All of a sudden, you would do one lump sum of 470,000, whereas this time you did 4 or 5 different coins. I'm not believing it. Like,
there's something else going on here.
People trading patterns are pretty consistent. All right, like. You're not going to on one thing do, well, I'm going to trade all these 4 or 5 different coins, and then on the earlier one, on a different one, say I'm just going to do it all at once. Yeah. Especially doing it this way, where the first time they did it all at once, the second time they do it individually. Most likely, if somebody were to do this and this is their first time, the first time they would do each one individually, and then realize it's smarter to do it all at once
because you don't have to pay fees.
Exactly. So it's so much going on in this story, but as you just said, I mean, look. 100 and whether it's 145 million, 190 million, we know it's 100. We know it's 9 digits, right?
Yeah.
That money is not disappearing,
and they're gonna get that.
Like
money.
Somebody's gonna get, if not already had their hands on it. I mean, the prime suspect is dead, right? Or so we think.
Yeah.
But
supposedly dead. Yeah.
This story is definitely a cluster. But shout out to Ernst & Young. I mean, hey, that's what happens. We knew that was gonna happen. They came in. And as one of our viewers called it before, Debonomics took over.
I still don't know how they got the contract. Like, who did they talk to? They just showed up. It was like, yeah, we got it. Like, all right. They just showed up at the offices. Yeah, we got it.
Let's see. Yeah. My bad, Dylan. Dylan said, don't go chopping up the name. Morph said, oh, Robert Kraft is getting it how he lives. Exactly. It's all about the money.
Yep.
Kevin Hodges said, Bitcoin the game. Find missing crypto and legally claim 50%. A game for a new generation. Look, the market is ripe for insertion and from the institutions. And as we've seen, they are coming in. They're changing the narrative. And money that's left out on the table.
We're going to scrape all that.
Hey, we're going to go ahead and take all of that.
Don't worry about that. We got that.
Right.
Appreciate you.
Speaking about crypto left on the table, though, UK auction house to sell off $430,000 in crypto confiscated by Belgian police. What is going on here?
Oh, well,
Tonio, talk to us.
Yeah, exactly. In a story very similar to the auction that was done by the FBI, where Tim Draper bought 30,000 Bitcoins. It looks like Belgium has announced Monday that it signed an agreement with the federal government to hold an auction of the crypto funds with no reserve, including 105 Bitcoin, 105 Bitcoin Cash, and 105 Bitcoin Gold. This actually makes sense because whenever you have an airdrop 1-to-1, you have the same amount of what you have. So
that's what I'm like, where did other number come from, right?
Yeah, other people have numbers. It would be like 10 Bitcoins and it would be like 1,000 Bitcoin Gold. You're like, what? How did that happen?
Something's missing.
Exactly. So the total market value is about 430,000, and they were seized from the dark net, so to say. They were supposedly used to sell drugs. And they'll be sold in half Bitcoin to 4 Bitcoin blocks. And this is a pretty average auction. This isn't millions of dollars.
It's a pretty small block.
Pretty small, yeah.
The other blocks from the government, U.S.
like half of Bitcoin blocks, people gonna auction. I mean,
you can go on exchange and buy it. Like, how low y'all gonna sell them for?
Yeah, exactly. And they better be transferred the instant you buy it because
literally it's 2 week.
Why don't you do it online?
And they gotta have fees too. The government's definitely well. We actually had these I want to know 0.5.
Yeah,
what's the price?
Yeah, and honestly, they said that last month they actually auctioned off Monero tokens, which they were Monero's been vilified by the press, by governments because it's private. If in my opinion, if any government anywhere is auctioning off cryptocurrencies, that automatically gave it legitimacy because they're making cash dollars.
They're making real money off it. What are we doing?
I don't know if they got to have a money transmission license or whatever else laws they throw in there, but maybe you won't get in trouble if you just auction off your crypto instead of selling it. Just say I had an auction.
Wow, great point.
I don't know exactly because this to me is literally. I mean, U.S. Marshals did it here. In Belgium they're doing it, and the UK law enforcement. So honestly, this auction of cryptocurrencies is sort of weird if everybody can't do it, because then they can just take crypto and hey, we'll just auction off to somebody else who could be somebody working for them. Right. Honestly.
Well, I have so many questions in regards to the auction as well from these governments. First of all, where does the money go? Yeah. Does it go back to that government organization? Does it go back to the taxpayers as it actually should? If the government's auctioning off, it should go back to taxpayers. And then my second thing is, stop auctioning it. Why do governments auction off crypto? You all, you're doing all this, at least in the United States, like they are doing some grimy stuff in regards to regulations. Like it is just literally stifling competition and innovation so that the ones you have and have control over can continue to grow. Yeah. And your pockets can profit, of course. But if the government really cared about all this crypto stuff, they would just stop auctioning it. Whether you believe in it or not, just stop auctioning it. Especially, I mean, the United States had 30,000 Bitcoin at one time, or one point or another. Like, stop auctioning it. And then, and then the second part of that is leave everybody else alone. Keep the money you seized, use that for the IRS and taxes and all that. And for everyone in the market, just leave them alone. If there's as many criminals as using Bitcoin or cryptocurrency as the government says, they should have no problem continually being able to seize it, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
If they can continue to seize it, why mess with the common people? That's because there are actually not that many criminals using crypto.
It's like 10.
And because they understand that they could just tax you and make your life miserable. But that's what my point. They're not even thinking this all the way out. There's no reason to tax people. There's no reason to bother people using crypto. Continue to confiscate it and just hold on to it.
Absolutely. And I mean, Shannon Allen, the loophole language is auction now, I guess. So you just say, I auctioned off my crypto, and that's how I sold it. Because also, too, whenever you sell to somebody, and remember the guy from Florida, they were saying he sold the Bitcoin for $1,500, and they told him they were using it for something else. The thing is, if somebody
for the felony,
the felony. What if somebody gets the crypto from them in an auction and then uses it?
That's true.
Is the government liable now?
Look,
are they about to take?
I'm at the auction I'm about to spend all this on whatever crypto.
Me and Robert Kraft about to hook up later with all this crypto. And then
will the auction stop?
Yeah,
will the government they'll be like, all right.
Good joke. Yeah,
that's right. That's a great point. Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to go on with that, but it's a lot of precedents that are set here that I believe could be used in some language in the future whenever people want to do auctions.
For all these so-called terrorists and bad guys out there, again, what type of story would it be if they bought a lot of crypto from a government auction and then funded some type of crazy criminal activity?
And that's very possible.
And when they trace the money back, it gets traced back to the auction of like you said, whether it's the marshals or the Belgian police or whoever's doing it here. That would be insane.
Yeah.
Again,
very possible.
And we say all this, but here's the deal. It's not a conspiracy theory anymore, people. It's some cronies in the government, all right? Like, of course nothing will happen to them. They're using this system to their advantage, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens in certain governments, so.
But if you sell to somebody,
personally, no.
and they use that money to go buy drugs or do something nefarious with it, you are definitely going to jail. And if you're in Florida, you're catching a felony over that one. So the world is crazy. Brazilian bank aims to raise $15 million through security token offering. Let's give a hand clap for banks folding.
Oh yeah, banks are giving up. Giving up.
Listen,
they're starting to.
This was the whole point we made years ago when we were talking about ICOs. I mean, like, you know, we did one of the one of the ICO things on YouTube is still up. The one that we went live on, Civic Key.
Yeah.
And that was before the government even started talking ICO regulation, right? I mean, they didn't even come in with the regulation standards until 6 to 8 months after that video. But one of the things we said early on when it came to regulations and ICOs, and the reason why it was bad and unfair and all that good stuff is because the government was just trying to do that so they can have control of that market and then bring it to institutions where they can tax it, and institutions can profit from it, as well as some of the government regulators working with them. We are literally seeing this. This is happening in Brazil right now, but a Brazilian investment bank is planning to raise millions of dollars through the offering of a security token.
Wow.
An announcement Thursday, Banco BTG Pactual said it will back its blockchain-based token with distressed Brazilian real estate assets with the expectation of raising up to $15 million. It will also establish a secondary market following the sale in order to provide liquidity to the tokens. Here's the crazy thing. With an ICO, because there are already ICO companies, there's already real estate companies doing ICOs for assets. We've seen this in Puerto Rico. We have seen this in, I think the Dominican Republic had it going on as well. Yeah. Some of the islands were doing it already. They were doing this back in 2016, 2017. At the same time, 2018 is when the government came in and said, oh, you guys are wrong. This is illegal. This is a security token. And they did it so banks could come around and say, hey,
well, here's
we have some distressed real estate assets too. Yeah. Let's offer you the same token. How crazy is this?
Yeah, and the offering, it'll allow investors in the Brazilian real estate market, and based on the performance of the tied assets, so A, B, C, or D, receive periodic profits. So international investors will be able to purchase the token called RATE or RBZ through a low-cost, tax-efficient structure. So, of course, this is the aim, the ability to issue
ours is
tokens,
low cost.
Very low cost.
Yeah, the ICO was no cost, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. And the taxes are very efficient, so you won't have to worry about it. That, meaning they'll probably take it out automatically. I mean, they'll issue the token.
Of course.
Oh, yeah, you're supposed to get 10, but actually you're going to get 6.7 because you got to take out those taxes. So the technology associated with this offering allows us to be a pioneer in providing access to asset classes that have historically been difficult for global retail investors to access. We are constantly exploring innovative ways to promote, democratize, and encourage the development of financial and capital markets. Let me explain something to you, people. The access that has historically been difficult was difficult because banks made access difficult.
You're making it difficult. You are the culprits. Like, what do you mean?
I mean, I don't even want to talk about America between redlining and loans and the ability to shut people out of the financial market and then say, oh, no, you know what? That access has been shut off, so we want to allow other people.
Now we're going to allow you.
Like, come on, man.
You're the one person who did it. What are you talking about?
They really have given up because, you know, security tokens, cryptocurrency, whatever you want to call it, digital currency, it has opened up Pandora's box to a whole new world where there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to get into a market. You can issue tokens instantly. You can buy into a company instantly. So they have to actually use this technology, and it looks like they'll be using good old Winklevoss boys.
I wasn't sure we was cover it. Hey, you know I was about to dig into it. I had it highlighted. How crazy is this, people? Like, again, this is... We keep saying it because when some people see us for the first time, they hear us speak in public, they're like, oh, it's kind of conspiracy-ish. It's not conspiracy-ish. It's like right here in the article, for the sale, BTG Pactual is partnering with the Winklevoss founded Gemini Trust Company to utilize its regulated U.S. dollar-backed stablecoin, the Gemini dollar, to receive investment capital and distribute dividends over the Ethereum blockchain. Distribute dividends. They should put distribute derivatives, all right? Because this is the thing that we fear most, that we saw what was going to happen. They're going to try to turn to. Again, they have all this stuff where we're going to use the USD backed stablecoin already. That's fees and taxes going out. We're going to use the Winklevoss Gemini exchange, the only regulated one in the world by New York City. And then we're going to do this STO. all of this could and still actually can be done, depending on what country you're in, or even if you're in the United States and you're not really worried about the law. This is all called an ICO, people.
Yeah, this is ICO.
It is freedom, and I mean, the ICO, the word itself is freedom. For you to go online and to get money for your project from around the world with none of this stable coin, with none of this regulated exchange or an STO. But now they've literally taken the ICO, which is simple to do. I mean, you could have did a 9-page white paper, have a product already going and got everything up and running in 2 days. So now I need lawyers, I need regulators, I need licenses, I need taxes in different directions, I need forms.
Yeah.
Like, how crazy did that just become?
Yeah, and I mean, the funniest thing about this whole thing, nobody from Brazil, residents of the U.S., and possibly other countries will be able to invest through the offering.
Wow.
So you know who this is for.
So only accredited investors, only people who have a lot of money already.
And if you don't think the banks in New York are going to make money off of this, you are sadly mistaken.
Oh, Winklevoss get involved. That's...
You already know who's involved. So once, you know, if Winklevoss stablecoin is involved, you know New York bankers are, and they're going to make money off of banks worldwide, because whenever they do security token offers, they're not going to start in the U.S. They got to test it in other places.
Which is why we got Brazil.
So we got Brazil. We got test grounds for everything.
Right,
so tested there, tested, you know, in some other countries to see if it works, and then we'll bring it over here. However, you at home, you won't have anything to do with it. You won't be able to invest, won't be able to use it. So this isn't actually an ICO where you can get involved. This is like a government ICO.
That's what it's a derivative.
All the rich dudes who are accredited investors, come on in. This is your chance to make it, get your Gemini dollars, and invest in these token assets, these distressed assets, so to say.
You know what? I actually give them credit for their market, their target market audience, or people who can invest. And the reason why is because those real estate assets, you know, not even real estate assets. Most of these STOs, they're not even going to go to retail investors. Like literally, the hustle market they're going after, they want to hustle other multimillionaires and billionaires. Yeah. I mean, you think about who's the guy who had the biggest Ponzi scheme in history?
Madoff.
Bernie Madoff. His clients weren't mom and pops for the most part. They were other multimillionaires.
Dumb rich people.
The lady we was talking about the other day, Theranos CEO, something, whatever her name is. Who, you know, she's been disgraced, so I don't even really need to say it. Elizabeth something. I don't think it's smart, but Elizabeth something.
Yeah.
But Theranos, same thing with them. Theranos customers, while they're end customers, who was an everyday patient, they're actual investors and customers who are already multimillionaires and billionaires already. So with stuff like this, it's kind of what you said about how they're going to eat themselves. You know what? Let it happen. Yeah. While the marketing and
I hope that the thing gets hacked.
Right, exactly. Really. While the marketing and the messaging sucks because new people are going to believe in it, the other investors of these type of projects are going to be people who think they're rich but actually aren't. I'm talking to some of my military folks who are like, I'm going to put 10,000 over here. They about to eat that up.
Thanks.
But seriously, you know, that's what this is for. They're going to eat up some of the middle class and a lot of the wealthy. And you know what? Let them eat themselves on this because it just doesn't make sense. They are literally, this is what we talk about, derivative on top of derivative. This is an ICO. It can very simply be done, but instead, this is now an actual project that would take at minimum like 20 people. I mean, we are literally talking about lawyers in this thing. We're talking about IRS in this thing, licensing now with the regulators. I mean, this is crazy. This is literally, I mean, you're working with an exchange, you're working with a stable coin, and you're working with an STO. Wow. People, those are owned by different agencies. They have different licenses. They have different amounts of money you need to pay to get those projects off the ground. That is crazy.
Yeah, this is wild.
I mean, this is like 100,000 at a minimum, 100,000 minimum invested.
Yeah.
Whereas with an ICO, before all the craze happened, literally no investment up front. You just need a website, you know?
Yeah, and just a place to send Ethereum. And I just want to remind people that in the year of our Lord 2019, if somebody is still doubting that crypto is not going mainstream, come on, man. This is pure proof right here. I don't know how much more proof we can give you.
It's actually funny you say, because going back to Shannon Allen, when we were talking about, you know, what if like a terrorist or something would go to a government auction. He said it sounds like a bond script, and he said add an EMP to the story. Yeah. And just how you said in the year of 2019, for those who still don't believe it, I talked to a guy yesterday. Didn't know that much about Bitcoin and crypto, or nothing at all, really. He was talking about how to move money. He'll use gold or whatever, or silver coins. And I was like, dude, you could just have crypto wherever. He's talking about moving money from country to country. And he didn't know about it. I tell him about it all 2 minutes, you know. And the first thing he said, what happens if an EMP happened? I was like, well, it's gonna be a lot more problems. Like, you're not flying nowhere. What are you talking about?
I'm about to say, you need some food and water.
But the point that there are still people right now, like, and we tell people who watch this is how early you are. There are still people now who have no clue what crypto is, and as soon as you tell them about it, their first thing was, well, what if an EMP happens?
And I'm like,
Never mind all your other electronic devices.
Yeah. Exactly.
Never mind the street lights.
You don't say that when you go to buy an iPhone.
Right, exactly. Never mind the street lights going out and electricity being out. You're not having heat in some places, you know, with the polar vortex up in the Midwest.
We got bigger problems, trust me.
But your crypto wallet was, I'm like, look, if electricity goes out, your cash won't matter because most of it is in the bank anyway for digital currency. It just isn't crypto. So it's crazy. Like you said,
if that's as far as you got to go to discount Bitcoin, then we are on the right track.
Right.
If we need a world-ending scenario.
Well, what if the world blows up? Well, how would we use it then?
Well, then we can just go to Mars.
Right. University of Michigan Endowment ups investment in Andreessen Horowitz Crypto Venture Fund. What is going on over at the U of M?
Oh, yeah. So, University of Michigan Wolverines, they have an endowment valued at $12 billion.
Woo. That's how you know that's a good school to go to right there.
And they're considering further investing in Andreessen Horowitz crypto fund called A16Z. According to Board of Regents meeting agenda, they previously committed $3 million to that $300 million crypto fund we discussed
test them
before.
out.
Oh yeah, just a little test amount.
See what you do. Just
it's a little quick $3 million, which to them is like $3. And basically, what they're discussing is investing more. What we do want to make sure you know that this investment fund is not purely into just crypto. Okay. It's into crypto companies. So this could be used to invest in Coinbase. It could be used to invest in Gemini. And this is the same type of endowment or same type of investment that the Fairfax County, Virginia police officers did. We discussed pension fund. Yep. Okay. So same similar type of thing. And they have $12 billion to work with. So even if they use a small amount, I don't think they'll jump to the $1 billion amount yet. But there will be, I think, some school with enough money. But like, you know what? Let's just go ahead and throw in $1 billion. At this point, crypto should be, at least a bigger part of our portfolio. But the fact they're discussing it, this is what, the third or fourth school, I believe. So Harvard and somebody else and Michigan now. So
I don't think they'll go to $1 billion. That's only because right now in crypto, people, 10 million. Once this bull market starts, 10 million will get you at least 50 to 100 mil. Yeah. So if they were, let's say they go 50 million will get them $500 million back. Yeah. I'm telling you, if you invest $50 million right now into cryptocurrency companies as well as some of the crypto assets themselves, you getting back at least $500 million. So I think they'll go in that direction. I think they'll go something 30 to 50 million eventually behind some bigger companies. Yeah. And even then, I mean, that's, you're talking 2 to 3 million per company, and then maybe a few million on some of the different crypto assets. So that won't even take you that far. It'll probably get you to about 10 or 15 projects. Yeah. But still, that will get you back. How many
schools about to start doing that?
That is very, because that's the other thing.
We're talking about 3 schools, and
especially that compete with each other.
Oh man, yeah. Ohio State's going to be in the news next week.
Exactly.
What y'all we putting our money in too.
You're right. That's when you actually might see those numbers really blow up.
Yeah, the competition and of course the money they make from it will be, and the only reason I don't like it is because it's going back to the schools, not necessarily the students.
Oh, yeah, all right, come on.
The school's endowment, that's based on people who have left there and they send money invested there. So, it's not really going back to the students. However, students will learn.
It goes back to facilities. I will say that. So it can help students, and I'm sure if it does make speaking NC State, come on, we got RTP out there. The Research Triangle.
Can't let Carolina and Duke be.
Come on. NC State is getting on it, but this is good. Like you said, this is good news. Not only for the investments themselves, but once they begin to work and bear fruit and everything, and as I said, I think they'll actually start doing things around campus to bring college students into the industry, because they're like, not only do we have this endowment, we can
blockchain certification.
We can beeline you from college now to an actual cryptocurrency company that's owned by our school. I mean, they could literally just be, and then it'll be like Gatorade. Hey, whatever you make here, this is what is, we're gonna split this up, but you'll have this product. But like you said, it's really good. I think more schools will get on it, and then I think it's gonna help college students learn more about crypto at an early age, because all it takes is for that one win from one of these endowment funds, and it's just like, all right, our students, this now is the whatever cryptocurrency school of, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
instead of
School of Business and cryptocurrency.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, block off one section of the building. So
this is now the Satoshi School of Crypto on this side of campus.
Exactly.
How cool would that be for somebody to have a Satoshi School of Cryptocurrency?
Oh, it's coming.
Even though they could probably call it blockchain. Yeah. The Satoshi School of Blockchain.
Distributed ledger technology.
JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs are going to buy up some college campus space. It's going to be like the Jamie Dimon School of Cryptocurrency. I'm like, oh, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. Malta.
Jamie Dimon going to pay for it.
Come on, why not? I would listen, he should do that like at Columbia or something. And I swear half of the population would believe it. Yep. Exactly. That's the shame part. Malta to store education certificates on a blockchain.
Oh, yeah.
As we're talking about school and blockchain, looks like Malta heard the convo. And in Malta, all educational certificates will be stored on the blockchain. A local English language, local media, Malta Today reported on February 21st. How is this working over there?
Oh, yeah. So the initiative was reportedly scaling up of a 2-year-old pilot project to include all of the nation's schools, including secondary schools by the state, the church, and independent schools. Woo. They signed a 2-year contract with software company Learning Machine to build the aforementioned pilot project, and now it is here. During the signing ceremony at Castile, the Prime Minister actually claimed that Malta is the first country to put all education certificates on the blockchain. I believe he is right. And he did say in 2017, Malta will become blockchain island, and it has. So shout out to them.
He did say in 2017. Hey, listen,
2 years later, here we are. So man, it's been 2 years since we said that.
Crazy.
That's crazy. Man,
hey,
went by fast.
A lot of streams.
Oh yeah, exactly. So the University of Bahrain, which issues diplomas on the blockchain, they actually talked about that in January. They reported that their initiative is part of an overall digitization strategy for mobile learners. And we've seen in Malta, we've seen CZ take his company there. We see OKX go there. They've discussed being a blockchain island in
It's a beautiful island.
They are not playing with you.
Call this place home. Look at this.
Yeah, exactly. And
that castle's here.
I was gonna say it's pretty beautiful. And they had that big real estate place that looked like a castle for sale for Bitcoin. Remember, it's like 36 million in Bitcoin they were selling it for. So you know, Malta isn't playing with y'all. They actually are doing what they said. And you know, MIT is another place where they've issued blockchain-based certificates, but it was only about 100 graduates in a pilot program, so it wasn't, you know, a vast, you know, because we're talking about elementary school, middle school, high school. Everybody's getting their diplomas on the blockchain, and you can view it and, you know, actually certify that you did it, which is better because I know most of the certificates I have, the pieces of paper, I don't even know where they're at. Like, my mom may have them somewhere.
I got some in storage.
I don't even know. Yeah, they're in storage somewhere. Probably got water damage at this point. Who cares? But whenever you go to an employer, you don't show up with your certificate. They look online in a database to see if you actually graduated or actually took it. So why not just put it on the blockchain to start with? And anytime you look up somebody, you can just look through that database. Oh yeah, they actually graduated. I can see it's certified here. So it basically takes out, I know they're going to save, as much as they say Bitcoin is going to harm the environment, this is actually going to save a lot of paper. A lot of unnecessary printouts and all that. So shout out to Malta taking the surge ahead. I'm sure this will become a trend everywhere at some point.
It makes sense.
It makes sense. I mean, just text me my diploma. Like, you know how many students,
especially as you know, internet continues to grow, globalization continues to grow. As you said, I mean, I might pick up my laptop and go to a new country, wherever, and say I have experience and whatever, I have a degree in this, and like you said, they can just go on the blockchain. Look, I don't. I mean, how long does it take right now for your college transcripts? I mean, it's been a while for me, but I remember back in the day, you're right, you got to pay for them. Then they either have to go to get a mail them to you. So
you can't have no parking tickets.
Right. You're too funny. we know all about that. It's a state, boy. It's a state. But yeah, I mean, literally, if you needed your college transmissions, that might be like a week or two process. Right? I mean, from what I remember, that was years ago. But so a week or two process that can literally be cut down to a matter of minutes. What if, you can go to your school website, pay with crypto immediately, or whatever, you want to use your debit card or whatever, and have access to, or grant access to another party where they can just get, give them the password or whatever, the private keys, they log on and see this transcript, they can download it, boom, good to go, right?
Yep, and I believe this is actually better for the new economy where people will be taking more online classes. Because think about it, how many people are actually going to show up?
Certificate City now.
Yeah, who's going to sit
Degrees don't even matter for most things.
For the most part, just
unless
online.
It's STEM, it's a straight up certificate.
Yeah, everything is certifications now, and if you take college courses online, you can actually do the same thing you can in person. They can upload their syllabus. They can have videos. You can ask questions back and forth. I mean, Udemy is a great place. They can do that for
people. I'm learning code off online. All right,
yeah, like you can do that just like that. And then when you finish, they issue you the certificate. The certificate that they issue on centralized systems, you can save it and download in PDF form. But if it's on the blockchain, Somebody will have to do is access that blockchain, search it. You would give them whatever your ID number is. Boom. Yep, they finished that. They completed this, and we're good to go. This is
Stop killing trees.
Stop killing trees.
That's really what's going on. Hey, we got to find out who's the tree industry lobbyist, because of course they don't want all this digital stuff. This is like George Bush being in office and everybody trying to introduce electric cars to him. It's like, my family owns in Texas, right? We're not doing nothing electric. Are you crazy? That's why it didn't start until Obama came on. Don't got oil fields, but it's the same thing here. I mean, of course there's an industry, and that's the thing I don't think people think about. There are industries, people that are the silent industries, like who makes the light switches, right? I don't know, but that's an actual industry.
They show up when they need
There's light switches everywhere, so it's the same thing. Paper is a real industry, and I'm sure they have lobbyists that are like, no, y'all need paper transcripts. What you want to go online and get your transcript for? You know,
it's not reliable, but now it is.
Think about how big of a dip that would be to that industry, though. If you, just something as simple as transcripts or degrees. If you say we're going to do all transcripts and degrees online from now on the blockchain or something, there are companies out there that will fold under. Have you not seen The Office, people?
Yeah.
Dwindler Muffin would be gone. What's it called?
Yeah, the whole company is shut down.
Dwindler Muffin, because Michael A. Scott would not be happy.
Yeah, Michael Scott, they'd be out of a job.
All right, for the free crypto coin today, what are we doing?
Oh yeah, so for our free crypto coin, we discussed a Brazilian bank raising $15 million through a STO. What are your thoughts? Do you think this will be the new trend? Do you think there will be some sort of revolution amongst banks to have security tokens for real estate and other assets? Let us know. Put your crypto coin address, and we'll send those free coins to you. All
right. As always, thank you for watching. Have a happy Friday. Make sure you subscribe if you already haven't. Like and share this, and check us out on our podcast as well.
Absolutely.
Until next week. Cheers.
Cheers.